What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back into CFB, where you can see all kinds of college football video game content with me, JC. And here today, it's time to finally dive into my favorite mode. And this is super special this year, right? Because last year, we did the Coach JC Dynasty series where, we kind of did the traditional thing where you create your coach, start off as like a coordinator at a one-star school and build your way up. And that was a lot of fun on 25. But this year, on College Football 26, West Virginia has Rich Rodriguez coming back, the 2.0 era. And for those of you that may not know, that was one of the most special eras in West Virginia history. The last time he was there on the cusp of a national championship, and he's coming back to try and get the job done this time. And before it plays out in real life, we can do it here in virtual format, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to take over as Rich Rodriguez here in this Dynasty, a WVU Dynasty series. I'm a huge WVU fan. I cover WVU on my other channel. If you guys don't know Country Roads Webcast, you can check me out over there if you're also a West Virginia fan. So that's the plan for today, and we're going to get through a lot of this Dynasty today. Hopefully that's the plan, is to have some lengthy streams here and get through a majority of the WVU Dynasty here at the beginning. It'll be a little tedious as we go through settings and roster adjustments and stuff like that, but then we'll get into it and we'll be rolling from there. And I'm excited to get into it. And I appreciate you guys tuning in here, whether you're watching live or on a playback. You can help me out by hitting that thumbs up button. Help us out with that YouTube algorithm. Help us find more college football video game fans like yourself. And if you are one of those and you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. That will help this find more college football video game fans as well. And then, of course, you'll get these videos straight directly into your feed where you can get college football 26 gameplay content, tips, all of that. And if you're someone that can't get enough gameplay tips, you want mini schemes, you want playbook tips, some extra behind-the-scenes content, and some fun stuff that we only do for channel members, you can hit the join button down below or on the YouTube channel homepage. I got some fun mini scheme stuff coming at you here in the next few days. I already put out a large, hour-plus playbook tip video there for channel members yesterday. That's present. And of course, you guys got any questions, comments, throw them in the chat as we go through, and we will get into it. I see a couple coming in already. My guy Michael D says, find the next Pat White and Steve Slayton. Hey, that's the goal. That's the goal, my friend. Hey, what up, Orlando? What up, Orlando? Good to see you, bro. All right, so with no further ado, let's get ready to do this. We got to hit our settings up first. Does the mic sound okay, by the way? You guys that are in here live with me? I changed out mics, switched to a different mic. That one I was using, sometimes I noticed I listened to a couple things back and the audio would cut out for like a period of 30 seconds at a time. So, I switched up one of the cords and I switched up to a different mic, so hopefully it still sounds good. Let me know if the audio is good. If I'm too loud, I can turn it down a little bit. If not, just let me know. Let's see here, though. So, obviously, Heisman, Coach Firing on. I think we're going to put Coach XP setting on slow because where we're taking over an existing coach, Rich Rod, he's at least, I think he's 56 XP, something like that, and the max you can get to 100. So, we're going slower. Of course, injuries on. We'll keep it on 25 for the buff because we are going to do manual progression. We're going to turn the pre-order bonuses off, and here's why. Because yet again, with the pre-order bonuses that I have, you get 50 coach points automatically when you start Dynasty. If we use those here, we would be maxed out when we started the league, and we want to grow. So we want to grow a little bit, and that's why we're going slow, and we're turning the pre-order bonuses off. We'll go 6-minute quarters, no accelerated clock. Maybe we should go 5. I don't know. How do we feel? 5 or 6? 5 or 6. Let's go 5. See if we feel like it's too short. We can switch it up. I think I'm going to keep all the wear and tear settings just stock right now. Audio's good. Thank you. Just a random guy on YouTube. Appreciate that. Hey, Orlando says he wants to do Missouri State. That'll be nice. I'm doing a one-star team builder dynasty, online dynasty with some people. I created a team builder team, the Almost Heaven University Hyenas, AHU Hyenas. That's going to be fun. So doing that as one of my online dynasties. I got 2 or 3 of those I'm playing. So here we go. Recovery sliders, we'll keep those stock. Now, what I do want to do is I like to make the transfers crazy, man. Let's make even the user transfer chance like there's like let's give them a 70% chance of users transferring and a 75% chance of computer players transferring. We're going to make this thing crazy. Portal's going to be wild in here for us in this dynasty. Full control, League Advanced Manual, absolutely not no auto recruiting, no auto progress, no auto progression. Okay, boom. Settings are good. We're not going to customize conferences right now. Maybe in the future we move West Virginia to the ACC or something. All right, well, we're taking over. Oh, let me give you all a little game sound.
prestige rating represented by the number of stars next to each
Cody Johnson said, loving that big wide receivers can actually get jump balls now and not drop all of them. Hey, that I've heard that the jump balls are nice. I haven't went up and got too many. Maybe a couple times, but nothing that really stood out. Okay, we know we're going here, and we know we're going Rich Rod, the return. Hard edge, baby. Hard edge back at WVU with Rich Rod. We're running it just like Rich Rod, too. Turbo tempo, up-tempo stuff, hard edge style. This is Rich Rod, man. I'm running this league as Rich Rod. The only difference is using my custom playbook, of course, as always. And, yeah, man. Yeah, man, we're going to get into it. So we're going to create a save point here so we can name our dynasty. Rich Rod WVU is what we're going with. I'll turn game sound back up a little bit more when we get into it. That narration was killing me. Couldn't think straight. All right. All right, we're going to pretty much keep our first season schedule as is. But what we're going to want to hit here is we're going to do something that you can do with, some of these rosters have fictional players, right? And I hate having fictional players. So I want to replace my fictional players with real WVU players, some of them that are missing on the game. I'm just going to change their name and try and change their number to fit that. That would fit it. That would be at that position that's missing. So that's what we're going to do. So at least they'll have that name and number. So I'll feel a little bit better about it here. And, maybe even some of the recruits when I bring them in, I'll change them to the incoming recruits West Virginia has in the 2026 class. We'll try and keep this Rich Rod thing realistic. So I'm going to pull up my West Virginia roster tracker that I use on my other channel, the Country Roads webcast, so I can reference it if need be. We're missing Scotty Fox at quarterback, and nothing we can do about that because we don't have anyone to replace him with. But we do have Khalil Wilkins, who could be a good building piece, 87 overall. I like that. I'm not 87 overall, 87 speed. I like that, especially being a redshirt freshman. That's nice. Let me pull up. Sorry, I got to pull the YouTube chat up so I can see you guys there. Okay, so Nico and Jalen is the question. I'm probably going to start Jalen. Nico also has another year potentially. He might transfer if we don't start him, but that's okay. Jalen has extender. That's nice. So although they have more abilities and stuff here on this one than they did on the original, look at the abilities on Max Brown. Option King, Shifty. Ooh, man, that's nice. He has another year too. If I can keep at least one of Nico or Max Brown, will be okay. So running back, we're going to lose Knighton. I'm worried we'll lose Jaheim to the draft because we're probably going to ball out with him. See, we're going to redshirt this guy, and what we're going to do is we're going to make him Sincere Bowers, who's missing from the roster for West Virginia. We're going to redshirt him this year and hope he stays, and we can have him for a senior season if so. Sincere Bowers for West Virginia is wearing 23, I believe. I wonder, I don't think I can change their height and weight, can I? I wonder if I could change that to match. That'd be nice if I could even do that. But I'll probably just do this and the number would be good enough. Don't want to take forever doing this, Okay. I did used to, though. You guys remember back in the day when we had to make our own roster, I'd go through and do WVU's whole roster. And I used to help them create the West Virginia roster when Operation Sports had the forums and they did it. I would help them work on the West Virginia roster. So we'll make that Sincere Bowers now, and we can redshirt him when we get to it. We have Ty Edwards, who will be gone after this year. Knighton is going to be gone after this year because we're going to play him. Hopefully, we'll keep Jaheim. We'll see. Okay, Hubbard. We got McBee at fullback. Cam Vaughn. Wish he was faster, but still good overall, especially at sophomore. Rodney Gallagher, Bray, Mayman Singleton, Hamilton, Fox, McCants. And here is a sophomore receiver that is a fictional player that we can change. So who do we want to change him to? Yeah, the roster update is going to fix a lot of things. A lot of freshmen are missing, a lot of transfers are missing, and the same is the case on the West Virginia roster or Orlando. But I don't want to wait to get this going until then, so I'm going to change his name. Let's see. Who's a sophomore receiver we could use? We could use Cyrus Trawl, or we could bite the bullet and just make him someone like Armani Weaver, who's actually a freshman, and just have him be a sophomore on this roster. Choices, right? We're missing Logan Ramper and Smith Brown, but they're both seniors, so this guy's a sophomore. I'll tell you what, man. We're going to go ahead and make him Armani Weaver. Why not? Even though the year's a little bit off, it's okay because some of the years are off on this roster anyway. Some of the classes are off. It's one thing that other people have noticed, and I noticed that going through the West Virginia roster on the CRW channel earlier today, highlighting some things that some of the years are off. Some freshmen are sophomores are freshmen, stuff like that. So that'll be updated on the future roster update as well. Grayson Barnes is going to be a huge weapon for us this year. That's our long snapper. That's another long snapper. We got Barrick. We're going to need to recruit tight end. We got 3 seniors because technically Moss and Zeller are long snappers. They're not really tight ends. Ward is a tight end, so at least we'll have him coming back, hopefully. We got fictional offensive linemen here, 2 freshmen. Let's change them up here. Who do we need to add on the offensive line that we're missing? We're missing Donovan Haslam and we're missing Mikkel Clay. They're juniors and seniors, though. We could make this guy... let's make this guy Philip Bowser. Some of the freshmen are missing on the roster that'll be added later and stuff. We'll go ahead and have them on ours with these fictional players. The only thing that's like some of the things they did with the roster is just weird though, because when you look at it, like they only have like 80 some spots on the roster, right? And now teams have over like 100 real players on the roster because you can have up to 105 scholarship players in real life now. So why would they put 4 kickers on West Virginia's roster instead of just keeping like the main 2 at most, and then you can add some more roster spots and not have some of these fictional guys? I don't know. Hopefully that's something they maybe even use, correct that in a future update as well. We'll see. And so we'll make this guy Trevor Bigelow then, I suppose. Or no, we can make him Andreas Hunter. How about that? Because I think there's another freshman, and we can make him Bigelow potentially. So Andreas Hunter, and he's 73 if we can switch him to it. Hey, this will be nice though, because for the streams, when we go through, we make clips, when we have all the videos, we'll have some of the real players on there that aren't even on the roster. People are like, how do you get that? Like, hey man, you gotta edit those fake players that they have on the roster. Those are the only ones you can edit is the fake players they have on the roster. That is the only plus side to the fake players. You can change their name and stuff. That's all there. We're good there. Okay, we got another guy. Yep, there's the other freshman. I thought we had one. And this will be Trevor Bigelow, right? That's what I said. Because I made the other one Philip Bowser. Yep, that's right. All right. Moving right along, guys. Moving right along. So I got the roster pulled up. I can't see the comments right now. I'll get to them here again in a second, though, if there's any coming through. Like I said, stick with me. Stick with me. We're going to get into it. We just got to make this... Gotta make this realistic, man. Gotta get this hard edge, Rich Rod era. Make these guys right, man. We gotta have our real dudes out here. At 61. Beautiful. Okay. We're good there. Good here. This is where we're missing. So this is Marshawn Oxley and Keenan Eck. Who are we gonna make who's who? I think we're gonna go Marshawn Oxley here and then Keenan Eck on the other guy. So let me go bandit, because that's what right edge is, kind of West Virginia's bandit position. That's what they have all our guys here right there. And these are going to be our two JUCO guys that aren't on the roster yet. So Marshawn Oxley, supposed to be 45. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. All right. So there we go. And see if we can give him 45. That's what number he is. Boom. So got that available at least. And then Keenan Eck, who's supposed to be 58. We'll go him right here with him. I wonder if I can change the appearance, because Keenan Eck is actually a white guy. I'd like to have that accurate. Is that possible or no? No, I can only change the physique. Well, that's okay. At least we'll have the name correct. So there we go with Keenan Eck, number 58, the other bandit. We're going to have to recruit corner heavily because until they update the roster, that's one thing I was talking about when I was going through that West Virginia roster on the CRW channel earlier today, is you'll see when we get to corner, we have like 5 seniors. So we're going to have to, because they don't have none of our underclassmen on the roster yet. Hopefully that changes in the future. We're good at D-tackle. Sam, here's where we have to make an adjustment. This is going to be Ben Bogle, I think. So Ben Bogle's a redshirt junior, so redshirt junior, perfect. It's close to Ben Bogle's number, too. Ben Bogle's 32. And we got it available. Perfect. So now we won't have a fictional player now. I can actually start him at the Sam linebacker spot. And then hopefully we'll be able to change the other guy to John Lewis, the linebacker transfer from Mississippi State that's missing on our roster as well. Now I have John Lewis and Ben Bogle here at the Sam. Yeah, and we'll change him. Yet again, going to be a case of incorrect skin tone, but we can put John Lewis here. And then in the middle, we can make that fictional player that's at the middle at the mic there, we can make him Cam Torber, another one of our freshmen that's missing. So it's actually working out decently for me to fill in some of the guys that are missing. There's still spots where I can't, like Scotty Fox at quarterback and like the corners. I can bring in one guy, so I have to probably just bring in one of the JUCO guys because I think the fictional player they have there is a senior or a junior, one of the two. And so I can't bring in like the freshman corners that we're missing and the freshman QB that we're missing and stuff, but I can at least get some of this right. Okay, so John Lewis, like I said, here at the middle. Then we go right here, and this will be Cam Torber, who's 46, number 46. He's from Hoover High. If you guys remember that show, Two-A-Days, used to be on, what was that, VH1 or MTV back in the day? Used to be a prestigious school, and he looks good on tape, man. He's big coming in, too. I'm not going to change anybody's height or weight or anything to their accurate, because I think I did see you can change that when I went to physique, but like I said, I don't want to take forever. We're just going to get the names and numbers right and have that at least be good. Feel accurate enough with it. All right. We're good at right side linebacker. Corner, we're good everywhere, except this is the fictional player, and we're going to have to make this our one of our JUCO guys is missing, so we'll make it Ty Crutcher, one of the guys that we brought in there. Could make it Nick Taylor, or I could make it one of the freshmen, but I want one of the freshmen to be a junior. Hopefully Kamarius Bomar and Dwayne Galloway, our freshman corners, get added soon. We'll make this Ty Crutcher, but see, other than that, which I think Lewis is probably going to play safety anyways. That might need to be one thing on the update. But then they have all these guys, which we did add. They're all senior transfers. We added Scruggs, Coates, Carter, Nelson, and Chambers. But they didn't put any of our underclassmen on the roster. So now you go into Dynasty. You really got to hit corner recruiting heavy, boy. You got to. So we're going to make this Ty Crutcher. Cornerback we're bringing in from West Florida. Number 16, if we can give it to him. Let's see here. Oh, wrong way. Okay, cool. So that'll work out there. Like I said, just wish I could have the freshmen, man. Sorry, we're going to have to bring some in. We'll bring in some good recruits, and maybe we'll just name them the freshmen that were supposed to be on the roster in terms of some of those corners we bring in, because we'll have to bring in several corner recruits. That's going to be one of our main targets, definitely, when we set up this board here in a minute. So Ty Crutcher, good everywhere else. We're good here. This is all real. Good here, all real. All real guys, but I mean, I think we could live without Flower and Koshan. No offense to them. Open up some other roster spots here. Ollie Straw's good. So, boom. All right, we got the roster where we want it to where it's all, real players filled in for the fake players, which is what I was hoping to do. Cool. Close off this WVU roster. Come back to where I can see your all's comments now. Cody John said, what are some good recruiting tips you picked up from last year? Getting top 5 classes even at a place like FSU seems impossible for me. Definitely, scouting is big. Making sure you're paying up attention to the ideal pitch, utilizing the sway and the hard sell, in a line with those ideal pitches on the right with your My School grades, selling them on what aligns with, what you grade high in. One of my favorite strategies from last year, we'll have to see if it works as good this year, is definitely when you bring a guy in on a visit, hard sell him that week if you have their ideal pitch unlocked, and that really helps a lot with the visit. And, of course, definitely getting the wins on the visit is huge boosts. If you're struggling, I definitely would say recruit. Proximity to home is an easy way to, build it up, hit your pipelines and such like that. And I think that's the main thing. And, at first, I think some guys try and go after way too many, right? You don't want to have 30-some guys on your board, in my opinion. You can, but you want to have like a top 10, 15, maybe even a top 10, 12 guys that you're really keying in on, especially in the beginning. If you're at a lower school, especially when you have less hours. But I think, I always try and pick like my top 10, 12 guys, go hard after those guys, see where I stand on those after a couple weeks, then kind of go from there. Because also you got to keep in mind, you get into week 2, week 3 of the season, you go look on the recruiting board, there's a ton of guys, 3, even 4-star players that nobody's targeted yet that have kind of slipped through the cracks, so to speak, because there's so many recruits that even, some of the CPU doesn't get them. Sometimes you don't see them, and they don't get picked up until later in the process. So that's just a couple off the top of my head. But I'll try and hit on some too as we go through this Dynasty series, and I'll show you some of mine, and we'll see how I do. Like I said, this will be my first experience with it. First Dynasty here on CFB 26, so we'll see how I do in recruiting on this one. But let's get into red shirts. Can't redshirt any of our QBs. They've all been used. We are going to redshirt Bowers. That's the only running back we're going to redshirt. Sincere Bowers, who we just brought into the fold. We'll go ahead and redshirt Armani Weaver. I kind of want to redshirt Singleton. But I'm afraid he'll transfer if I do. We'll take the chance. We're going to redshirt Man in our Dynasty. We'll redshirt Ryan Ward this year because we need him for the future. Hopefully it won't make him transfer. We're going to redshirt our freshman O-lineman that we can redshirt here. We're going to redshirt our freshman D-line. We're going to redshirt X since we can't redshirt Oxley. At least redshirt one of our JUCO guys. We're going to keep all our D tackles. Should we redshirt John Lewis is the question. No, I think we might need him. We'll keep him in the fold. We will redshirt Torber and Hasty, though, since we're going to keep John Lewis in. Should I redshirt Chambers? I may as well try to. At least have one corner coming back to go with Lewis, who I might end up having to play at corner in the future just because of the lack of players, but we're going to try and bring some in, and we'll have Crutcher back too, potentially, if they don't transfer. Fred Perry's amazing. Look at his abilities. Aftershock, wrap up, hammer, platinum blow up, platinum workhorse, impact dev trait. Him and Tarnu, very good. We're redshirt Zay. And we're redshirt Ethan Head as well. I mean, we got 17 kickers. All right. So that's what Rich Rod's doing here with his roster. Let's go and get our depth chart right so we have that ready to roll. We'll wait and do formation subs when we get into week 1. So we'll hit our depth chart, then we'll get into recruiting. I'll show you how I'll set up my board as far as the recruiting tip there. Cody Johnson, appreciate the question. James Lucas said you can fix height and weight. Yeah, I know. I just didn't want to come through and take the time. I realized that about halfway through the process. I'm like, yeah, we'll just roll with it. Okay, so you guys know me. I'm not hating on Nico by doing this. I think Nico has a great chance and maybe has the upper hand to start in real life. But me on the game, I got to have a little bit of speed. So I'm going to roll like this and hope Khalil Wilkins doesn't transfer. But honestly, I'm going to put Khalil Wilkins into the fold because why not? But Max Brown's abilities are just so enticing there. I might even want to start him over Jalen Henderson, but we'll see. We'll let Jalen Henderson rock with it this year and go like this for now. So this is me. This is me running it as Rich Rod. This is my version of Rich Rod, the virtual Rich Rod 2.0 era. White and Knighton is the top 2. Edwards not far behind. He's going to be our power back. We got Hubbard as well. Fullback. What should we do here, man? I guess we'll keep McBee there. And then we got our long snappers backing him up. That's funny. Let's put Jen Ross behind it. And then we'll have one of our long snappers there. Why not? All right, Cam Vaughn, wide receiver 1, of course. I think wide receiver 2 for me. Yeah, I'm going to roll with Christian Hamilton because Good speed. Oh, he doesn't have a shifty ability. That's weird. So it does it this year like it did last year. This happened last year. Like when you look at the regular roster, and then when you go into Dynasty, the roster is different because he had shifty ability in the regular roster, but still 92 speed, 94 acceleration. We'll keep Hamilton there. We got Vaughn as number 1 for sure. Then third, we'll go Gallagher. Who do we have here on the bench that we need to bring in at receiver? Anybody? Who are we missing? We got Bowie, who could come in. He's a senior. His last year. And I like a little bit of speed, so I'm going to sub him in. No offense to P. Fox. No offense to P. Fox at all. So we're going to go with it like this. We're going to go Vaughn, Hamilton, Gallagher, Bray, McCants, Bowie. I'm tempted to go McCants. McCants has sidestep and shifty, bro. So I'm going to go McCants over Bray, and I'm going to honestly make McCants probably my slot receiver just because he has the sidestep and shifty ability. That'll be nice to have him as a slot man. Him and Gallagher kind of be those two guys to do that. So we're going to go Barnes, Barrick, and Jen Ross here. Left tackle. We got Ogbo, who's 80 overall right now with screen enforcer, quick step, outside shield. I like that. Have Ogbo as the starter there. Bosley is the backup. And then the freshman, Bowser. Left guard, Young Bear, of course. Got to have my dude Young Bear. We'll have Chemo as the backup at both guard spots. I want to have him starting. I think Chemo's going to start in real life, but on the game, Bustle's younger, has an ability, and a little bit higher overall. So that's why we're going to roll with it like that. Do we have another? Yeah, we can put Cooper Young there as a third stringer. Center, this is where it's going to be an interesting position battle in real life between Landon Livingston and Carson Lee. I think... Let's look here and see kind of some of the intangibles before I make my decision. Livingston does have the abilities, more abilities. He has the edge on there, and Livingston's younger. So, run block footwork and run block finesse, Livingston has a huge advantage. Lead block, Lee has a big advantage. Impact block, he has a slight advantage. Run blocking in general, Lee has an advantage. But the 92 run block finesse is nice, man. I like that. Run block power is much better for Lee, though. This is tough. This is a tough debate. But Lee's a senior. Let's go with the experience for now. I'll put Livingston there. What is Livingston's overall as a guard? 79? So, Bustle's also 79. Here we got Young Bear. What if I go Livingston at right guard, though? Bustle was the backup with Chemo behind him. And then we can go Bustle here as well, since he's not starting now, right now. We can get him on the field in other areas as a reserve. And this is where we're getting like our best offensive lineman on the field, I feel like, across the board. Yep. And we can even make him be the backup right tackle in general. So we're not, where is Tykees Crawford? Okay, so that's what we want. We want Tykees. So we're going to start Tykees on this side. Whoops, didn't mean to do it that way, but it's okay. Bustle's actually higher overall. I could do it that way. What's the difference between these two? Bustle's younger. He has him on impact block. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's start Bustle at right tackle then. Which means, sorry guys, last change here. We'll switch him out with Tykees in these formations that we had him in previously. And I think now we're literally getting our best offensive lineman on the field all across the board in multiple ways. Okay, so check it. Now we have 80 overall. Ogbo as our starter at left tackle, with Bosley as the backup. Tykees Crawford there as the reserve. Walter Youngbear with Chemo as the backup. Tykees as the reserve. Carson Lee with Livingston as the backup. Martin there as the third. Then we got Livingston starting with Chemo right behind him. Tykees. And then we got Bustle, Crawford, and Xavier. Boom. Okay. Left end. Now I can start Jamori Robinson on the edge. Didn't do it when I played my Play Now game, the other games I played with WVU, because they didn't like having a fictional player in at Sam linebacker. But now we've rectified that. So now we can do this a little bit more than the way we'd like to here. So we're going to go Robinson, Kelly, Siders. And then here, this is like our bandit spot, right? So we want Curtis Jones, Siders, and then Oxley. D tackle, Eddie Kelly is a backup elsewhere, so we're going to put Eddie Kelly in at D tackle. And then we'll have Asani or Eddie V be the nose tackle for us. I like that. We need McIntyre Jr. up, though, in the lineup. That helps there. Cool. All right, Sam linebacker. We can play Wilson on the Sam, and he'd be 81. Or we can play, what's Bogle's overall there? 74. But then at will, we would have Bogle at 74 at will. Wilson's the same overall at both, so let's just play them in their designated spots here. I don't know why the game flips it like that sometimes when you go to your depth chart. Okay. So we're going to start Bogle at Sam. And we're going to make formation subs on defense, like I said, before we get to our first game in week 1 after we do recruiting and stuff. And so we can make sure we have our best players in that I want in all of our packages and stuff. So we're going to Bogle and John Lewis with Ben Cutter there. Honestly, let's get Ben Cutter behind Bogle. I want Carrico. And I want Wilson as the backup in case we go with a formation that's like multiple, of the mics on the field. And then we'll go Cutter and Beiser. Then it will, of course, Chase Wilson. And backup is where it's interesting here. We'll just keep John Lewis as the backup there. Ashton Woods right there. Boom. Corner. Coates got to be the number 1. I know Scruggs is a little bit higher overall, but Coates has the great. I mean, this is both filthy. 4 abilities for Scruggs, 5 for Coates. That's a lethal duo at corner. And then we'll go Derek Carter, Devontae Golden Nelson, and Darian Lewis to round it out. So, I mean, really good, solid corners. Just wish we had some of our youngsters on there behind them. I feel like I've said that a million times, but it's just so true. So, Jordy Walker, Fred Perry, KK Tarnu, Justin Harrington, who has great speed, we're going to keep there. So, I like that. And I like this. Okay, Hensley, Flower. Actually, we'll put a little bit higher kick power. Kick returner. Do we want Jalen Knighton back here? I think that's a good one. Let's put Jalen Knighton back as our kick returner, shall we? And then McCants. Jalen Knighton and McCants is 2 return men. I like that. We'll keep Hamilton back there on punt return since he's 95 overall. We'll let it rock like that. Straw, Hensley, long snappers. Like I said, they have our actual long snappers on. Why do they have the 12 overall in? No. Do not reset. So we'll go Seller and then Moss. Okay. Third down running back, we'll keep Jaheim. Then Knighton. Then Edwards. Power running back, of course, Ty Edwards. Slot receiver. Now, we said we were going to go McCants, number 1. Which I know is a little bit different, but I like his abilities that he has. Then we'll go Gallagher. And then P. Fox. That's where you get a chance to get in the depth chart. Rush left end, of course, Jamori. We'll go Kelly behind him. Rush right end. I like Curtis Jones, Siders. Rush D tackle, of course, Kelly. Sub linebacker, I like Fred Perry here. He can definitely play that type of role for sure. And we'll put KK behind him. And then Harrington, who's fast as lightning. Slot corner, Scruggs. That's why West Virginia recruited him, really, in real life, to play the slot corner. And he's absolutely filthy at it. So I have him and Lewis there. And then we'll go Fred Perry as well. Nose tackle, Like I said, we'll have Hammond Russell nose tackle, Eddie V behind it, Sonny Redwood, and our gadget. Ooh, do we want Cam Vaughn as our gadget player? Because remember, he was a high school quarterback. He doesn't have the throw power I was hoping he'd have. Who has good throw power out of for our gadget position? No one really. The best is Hamilton. Let's just rock with probably Jaheim as our gadget. I suppose isn't a bad choice. Jaheim with Cam Vaughn behind it. Okay, so we got our depth chart right. We got our roster right. Let's hit the recruiting board up. Make sure I don't have to change any other settings. I think I got all my settings adjusted, and then we'll hit recruiting up. I got all this done. I know we did this. Is there a... I don't think there's anything I need to adjust here. This should all be stock. Keep everything stock. Okay. Okay. Oh, phone's going crazy. Hold on. Let me put my phone on silent. I don't know if the mic's picking that up or not, but... the GAD is the gadget player, James Weekly, and that's like your Tavon Austin type, your Percy Harvin type, and in your formation, in your packages, you can line them up at slot. They'll be your quarterback and wildcat a lot of times, and a lot of the gadget players that you recruit, if you recruit a receiver with the gadget archetype, those gadget players have passing stats and stuff that are higher than normal, and so they can be utilized in a lot of ways. It's a pretty cool new position. Let's see. Oh man, the Tavon Austin era was lit, Cody Johnson. That was while I was in high school. Actually, that was my junior, senior, and then the year after I graduated high school was like Tavon's time, and it was awesome because I watched his highlight tape when we recruited him because I was, the Pat White Slayton era there before. That's what got me into it. So it was special seeing that guy that I said was going to be awesome from the beginning turn into what he did. One of the greatest highlight reels, if not the greatest of all time. Okay, so recruiting board. Where we're going to start. Well, first, we need to see something else first here. We need to see what we're looking at with our coaches. So what abilities does Rich Rod have here? So he's not much into the recruiter tier. We're mainly in Scheme Guru, which is good. Mobile QB ratings boost all the way up to 3. We got that up to 3. What do we have here? We have our fast tempo up to 3. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. We're going to utilize that. We've got our ground and pound up to 3. That's what I was hoping to have. Some of my favorites to have there. So we definitely have Scheme Guru, Master Motivator. We've got QB start the fourth quarter hot in close games. We've got interest boost for running back recruits, interest boost for wide receiver tight end recruits, wide receiver and tight end stay hot. Same for offensive linemen. We got interest boost for DB recruits when current DB hits a skill cap. So we need to try and work on upgrading some DBs. That'll help us with our DB recruits. Quick recovery for our offensive line, which is good. We got good wear and tear damage recovery on all these. That's awesome. So we're into Master Motivator with Rich Rod. And, of course, he's into Program Builder, where we have increased composure penalties for the away team, so good home field advantage. 3rd to 7th round projected players, less likely to leave for NFL. That might help us to keep Jaheim, but I don't know. He might be projected 2nd or 1st round with how I'm hoping to ball with him. Earn 25% more XP from all completed goals. That's a big one. I'm glad we have that. That's going to help a lot. It's going to help a lot. So we got those on him. Let's see coordinators. So West Virginia's real coordinators are on the game. These are fictional guys, but let's see what they got. So he's got some of these in Scheme Guru. And then defensive-wise, got something in Motivator. So we really would love to get into Recruiter if possible, but it costs so much at this point where Rich Rod's so high up in his tier. It costs $70 just to get into Recruiter, but he has some good recruiting stuff involved with Motivator, so I think we'll be okay recruiting-wise still yet. We also have some Architect abilities I didn't look at here. Chance to increase a random skill cap when leveling up. Oh, that's awesome for the passing, for the quarterbacks there. Same thing for the receivers and tight ends. And offensive linemen earn additional XP for in-game goals. That'll help us too. Cool. So we'll be able to progress our players well. That's 100% what's awesome. So, you know, and that kind of fits with what West Virginia does with Rich Rod, right? What he's always done, he goes out and finds hidden gems and then builds them up and they become superstars. Look at all the players he's done it with. You know, we talked about Steve Slayton and Pat White. And then last year at Jack State, finds Trey Stewart from a D3 school. He ends up number 3 in the nation in rushing. And that Rich Rod rushing offense is always something to behold, that up-tempo style, which we're going to utilize here in our dynasty. But we need to go out and get some corners. And we'll get some running backs as well. That's going to be our main 2 targets right here, I think. So we can hit recommended. But what I want to do here is running back wise, I got a couple of different ones that I particularly like here in the new archetypes. So as I'm recruiting running backs, I really like East-West playmakers and elusive bruisers myself. So let's search some East-West playmakers. We can refine that a little bit more. Open. And so this is from top down. So starting at 5 stars, only 1 5-star that is, and we don't have a chance to grab him. This 4 stars from Jacksonville, Florida. This one's from Texas. Let's add him and we'll scout. This one's from Florida, and he's in our pipeline area of Florida. We'll add him and definitely scout him. Tennessee, decently close to us, but Georgia's in our area. We'll add him. And we got another Georgia here, East-West playmaker. Oh, did we have a 3-star pipeline there? Or Virginia? Okay. So I like those. Let's go back. And let's go elusive bruisers. We'll add some of those, and we'll scout these running backs, see which ones we want to keep on our board there. Then we'll go through and add some corners, which I don't really know which archetype I like there particularly yet. That'll be something we'll find out here through this dynasty. Okay, so New Jersey, an elusive bruiser. We can get into New Jersey. West Virginia recruits New Jersey occasionally, but we'll get another guy in Georgia here. Another guy in Florida. Get us a couple elusive bruisers. And then here's a West Virginia guy. We got to lock down our state. That's something else we're going to look at here. We want to get all the top players in West Virginia here. Okay, now all of a sudden these guys don't want to be recruited because we're going after so many of them. So sometimes you'll have that when you add multiple to your board. They'll be like, nope, don't want it. So that's fine. It's fine. The deal breaker's playing time. And we've added a bunch of running backs to the board, so it kind of threw it off for them. But that's fine. We can go back and scout those guys later if we need to. But I feel like we might have a few that we like here. Let's see what we got. Let's take a look here. For me, yeah. See, running back, I need 90 plus. I need 90 plus from me. Running back and receivers, I need 90 plus. Now, see, he's 87 speed, 91 acceleration, which isn't bad because he's 5'11", 206. And he could progress a little bit. You know, we do have that ability to do that. We might keep him, even though I just said that. But, you know, with elusive bruiser, it's a little bit different with the size. We'll just see what the other ones look like. Because we do need to target some guys, and he is a 4-star. 86 speed, so he's a little bit slower. And he's only 89 acceleration. So that's where he makes up for it with his 91 acceleration. I'll keep him for that. He can be a part of the hard edge culture. 81 speed, absolutely no chance. And this guy's from West Virginia, so we may cut him a break if he has decent anything. 82? What's your acceleration? Oh, I just can't. I can't do it. I can't justify it. Okay, so now let me go back, see if I can add those elusive bruisers. Maybe if I add them one by one, I'll be able to scout them. I mean, not the elusive bruisers, excuse me. What the hell was it? East-West playmakers, should I say. Okay. So running back, my East-West playmakers. Let's try this again. Some of them are still deal breakers. There's a Tennessee one. We'll try and scout him. We could recruit Tennessee. Let's see what he's looking like before we try and add any others. Oh, so that's the other one. Here he is, Eric Crook. 88 acceleration, 86 speed, not great. All right, so we're not finding too many great running backs that we like right here. Let's try one more time here. And if I add multiple, they're not wanting not wanting to let me scout him, so let's try Spangler from Virginia. And we'll try this JUCO guy and see, hopefully, these three don't cancel each other out. No whammies. Spangler we've already scouted, so we can take him back off because we already know that we already removed him. So we got this JUCO guy. Okay, 90 speed, 92, and he's a JUCO sophomore. He can stay for sure. And here's another 90 speed from Ohio. Not the best acceleration, but he's a 3-star gym, so that almost makes him like a 4-star. So we found 3 good running backs we can recruit here. I know we're using up a lot of our points, but that's okay because we really have 2 main positions we want to target here, at least starting out. That's the way I'm attacking this. Because I have some quarterbacks I like that should still be around if they don't hit the portal. And the plus thing about this is we made the portal settings up, so we're going to be a lot of players in the portal we can add as well. So I'm probably going to only try and add 15 to 25 high school guys, somewhere in there. So corner. Here, I think we should maybe just check out the recommended, go from there. I do run a lot of zone, but if I get really good man cover corners, I will switch it up. So let's recruit these zone corners out of Florida. Put them on their list here. This is a field corner. Here's a boundary corner out of Ohio. And a bump and run corner. Now we got like one of almost all the archetypes here now. Cool. Oh, here's a 3-star pipeline, though, from Maryland. Let's add him as well. See if we've got enough points to scout all these guys. We might not. If not, that's okay. It's only preseason. We'll have scouting reports right here coming up in week 1. 93 speed. I can work with whatever else he's got. So we know right now these 4 for sure. So let's go ahead. Offer them. All right. Let's continue on here. 93 acceleration, 92 speed. Yes, sir. Can use you on West Virginia, young man. Let's get it. Okay. See what we got here with Mr. Washington. Oh, Alton Washington's a gym. 89 speed, 90 acceleration. Not typically the speed I go for, but you're a gym, so we might keep you. Let's see what we're working with these other guys first. He's 90. So if these other 2 are 90 plus, man, you might be out of the mix. Oh, man, 93, 95? Oh, dude. This dude's nice. And he's a 4-star guy. Let's go ahead and crank him on up here to be number 1 target at the cornerback spot. And now we've got all of them scouted but this guy. And he's not cutting the mustard. Okay, because we need corners, we will go ahead and offer the other guy that I was questionable on. And so we have 90 points left. We found 3 running backs and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners we want to target, which we know we need a bunch of those. Let's go back to the prospect list and see those pretty much. So now for me, I know that the top 8 guys are my main guys I want to target for sure. Try and go all in on them if I can here in week 1. Send the house on them as max points as I can. Other than that, wide receiver is a big area of need as well. And I know at wide receiver, I like speedsters for sure. And, some gadgets and interesting potential, as well at receiver. But let's go speedsters for sure because we have minimal hours here. So we're only going to add, 1, 2, maybe 3 guys. So speedster receivers out of Ohio, it's 2-star pipeline for us. Very high rated too, 13th at the position. That'd be a nice one. Florida boy. Rich Rod will go down in Florida and get some speed now. Go ahead and get him. And then out of PA, we recruit PA. So those 3 right there, we're going to see what they're looking like. If we got enough points to scout all 3, we might not. So Gastineau out of Ohio. 92 speed, not too shabby. So we're not going to have enough points to scout all 3 of them. But that's okay. We got our main target position. 92 speed. 96 speed. Go ahead and add this young man into the mix, and we'll go ahead and make him our number 1 guy behind them. Let's see what we can get out of here. So we got 5 left. Gastino's 92 speed. We know we need receivers. Go ahead and offer him as well for our final 5. So, see, I've only added 11 guys right now. I know I'm going to target, and then in week 1, I'm going to go ahead and max out my points on these 8 guys that I know are my main targets, as we're talking recruiting tips here a little bit. And then after that, we'll fully scout this guy, see where he stands, see if we want to offer him, keep him on the board. And then, as someone else said, probably go out, try and find potential Steve Slayton type recruit and a potential, I think we already might have a couple candidates for that here. A potential Pat White type recruit might have to go out and just do that just for fun. Go out and get a quarterback, see if we get a quarterback that's a pure runner type guy maybe to add to the board, and then fill in our needs from there. Maybe with some lower guys and everything, but I think kind of where we need immediate help right away, some important positions, we got to go out and get those guys. The next thing I think I'll add, maybe if I had to put something else on the line, would probably be edge rusher. But that's where we're at preseason right now. And that's mainly because, as you can see, with the coaching abilities this year, it's really different. A lot of these are focused. You're focused on a couple key areas, right? Like Rich Rod's not in the recruiter tier, and early on, you can get into recruiter and stuff in addition to whatever you start off as, but it's a lot more expensive even starting off now. I think it's like 20, 30 at least, and you have to get to a certain coach level before you can buy it. And you can see as you go up and unlock other stuff, that goes up because now it's 70 points for Rich Rod to get into recruiter, which is a lot of coach points. Okay, so we've set up our board, got our depth chart ready. We're going to advance the week. I'll show you guys what I'm going to do. Let's make sure our schedule is right. I think we start with FCS, and that's fine. Let us ease into this thing, and we'll have week 0 to recruit, and then we'll keep this is West Virginia's regular actual schedule, which is sweet. So we'll keep that the same. Hey, what's up, Drum Wolf? Appreciate you, man. Yeah, we're going to play this thing through. It's going to be fun. Okay, so maybe I should move my face cam over here while I'm not in game. I know in game that might be blocking the score bug. We'll see. I might have to move that when we get in game. Let's go ahead. Let's go week 1. I'll show you guys what I'm going to do with recruiting. Go after those top main guys for sure here. And then we'll get ready to check out our formation subs, make sure we have those ready for our first game. And then we'll be ready to dive into some playing, guys. Recruiting and playing here from there on out. It's the only thing, like I said, I know it's a little bit tedious getting into it here, setting up settings and all that. But hey, that's part of the fun of it, in my opinion. So, recruiting. Because we have a bye week in week 0. Like I said, we know these top 8 we're sending the house on. And hopefully get some good results on it. Let's see where the points stand after the top 8. Might go ahead and send the house on that 96 speed receiver as well. See, another one, Gastino's already locked us out. We'll see why he's locked us out in a second. Yeah, we'll go ahead and spin that. Why not? He just went ahead and cut down his list already. Duke, what is your speed, sir? See if we can keep you. We know we need wide receivers. Yeah, I don't think you're going to cut the mustard for us. So we're only targeting 1 wide receiver right now, but that's fine because we know we got to get these corners, and we need another running back just in case Jaheim leaves. So that's kind of our main thing now. We knew we need multiple receivers, so we're at least going to get one of those. Now let's go back here. Like I said, edge rushers for sure. See, outside linebacker and edge, need that. Need a lot of things on defense. So like, we're going to be filling this and updating it throughout consistently. We just got to try and hopefully we get in on these guys quick enough that we can get some of them committed early. We'll see what we can do. It's going to be different though. No recruiting, big time boost for Rich Rod, which is interesting. That's why we're going to have to maybe target more 3-star guys and develop them like we do in real life, which is cool. I like that. I like having to do it the way West Virginia does in real life. Okay, so we want to go out. We want to try and find. Can we find another Pat White for Rich Rod 2.0 here? Can we find another Pat White here? Let's get pure runner. Let's get pure runner first. And Pat White, he wasn't a 5-star, man, so we got to at least go 4-star below. And we're down to the 3s even. Can we go under any and see here? Okay. So we got a Cali, we got an Illinois boy, Oklahoma, Florida. Got a Florida guy. We got to get that speed out of Florida here. Georgia, Indiana, California, Florida. Another pure runner out of Florida. Virginia. I like the 3-star pipeline boost there. That could be. Let's add these two right now. See what we can do. See what they're looking like. What their scrambling capabilities. Like I said, we might run out of points here. We don't have a ton of points. 79? How is that a pure runner? In what world? Well, didn't get what we wanted on those at all. All right, let's pivot. Let's pivot then. Here's what we'll do. Let's find who's really interested in us that we could maybe lock down kind of quick. This guy's out of PA, 4-star running back. We're 6th on his list. Maybe not even a fit for what we like to do, but he could build up our class. There's a gadget receiver out of West Virginia. A pure possession athlete, 6'3", 251. Maybe a tight end? Gap specialist, D-tackle. We do have a need at D-tackle. So where these guys already have interest in us, we're going to get them on here. Elusive route runner out of Ohio. And then a thumper linebacker, 6'3", 242. High-rated, 4-star. So these are actually high-rated guys, too, here that we've added. And I think that for now, that'll work. And these are just going to be guys we're going to target without scouting right now to just get them on the board and get some points into them as well. And we have 4 of them. We have 20 points left. We can give them all 5. So that way, we can get them on, let them know we're interested in them early. Don't lose. Don't move too far down their list. Maybe move up. So we're in the mix on that. We know what we're going to target that. Let's exit. Week 0, I can show you Heisman Watch if you guys are interested here for our Dynasty right now. It's at the start, you'll see Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Love, Jordan Tyson, and Nussmeier when you start Dynasties. Conference standings. West Virginia, projected middle of the pack, 6th right here. A lot higher than they've been regarded in real life, which is nice. EA showing us a little love at least. Okay. Think that's really about all we got there for week 0. So let's go ahead and go week 1. We'll set up our formation subs and then double check our recruiting before we dive in. Yeah, very fast on speed. That's right, Drumwolf. That's what one of our main targets is here. That's how Rich Rod does this thing. Hard edge, and we're spotting the ball, turbo tempo on him as well. Okay, so let's go to so what I'm going to do here is the only bad thing is this is what determines what formations show up when you go to your formation subs, right? And for some reason, they don't make it to where you can set your custom playbook as your scheme in Dynasty. Super frustrating. Was hoping they updated it for this game. Now that they were putting formation subs back on, they didn't. So the only way to really circumvent it is to utilize the playbook that you use as your base playbook when you create your playbook, which for me was Georgia Tech. So we're going to set Georgia Tech as our base playbook so we can at least have formation subs for some formations on offense potentially that we will have in our playbook if we want to utilize some offensive formation subs. In defense, 3-3-5 tight. What do we have? Nickel, 3-3-5, dime, special prevent. Yeah, okay, we'll keep 3-3-5 tight. We'll keep that there. And we'll use, see, where's our, here we are. So now we can hit formation subs. And I know that, this isn't my offensive playbook. These aren't my offensive formations, but I know I do have some of these Georgia Tech formations in my playbook. I just need to check which ones really quickly. So I can do that by going to the CFB.fan website, which has all the playbooks, which is pretty sweet. So we'll go here. We'll go Georgia Tech, little Georgia Tech action. And I know all I have is pistol and shotgun, so I don't have that formation. I don't think I have that formation. Bear with me, guys. Like I said, this will pay off for us here in the season. We're going to get our players in the right spots on offense and defense. I don't have that formation. Pistol Y off trips. Do I have pistol Y off trips? I think I might. I think I do have pistol Y off trips. So let's see here. Let's go pistol Y off trips. It's a formation of theirs I do have. I know in my custom playbook that I'll be utilizing here. Okay, so one Jaheim in the backfield. We got Carson Lee, Livingston, Bussell, Barnes, McCants, Hamilton, Vaughn. So what are some of the plays here? So the slot man is going on the wheel route, which I like a lot. So the slot man's kind of a target here. Barnes is a target on a couple of plays. So I think I want to switch this up, actually. We'll get Jaden Bray on the field. I'm going to put Cam Vaughn here in the slot in this formation. Okay. So that's really the only change I want to make on that one, I think. See, do I have any other pistol formations? I don't think I have that one. And now we're into the shotgun formations. So that's the only formation sub I have to make there, because that's the only formation I know that I have of theirs in my playbook out of the pistol. In the shotgun here, I know I have multiple of those. Let me see which ones I can find here. I definitely have this here gun bunch tied in, and that's going to be a good one for us to use. So let's see, make sure we got everything right we want in here. So in this formation, we have a jailbreak screen for the X receiver. So that would be for Christian Hamilton. With the way this is set up, we have a bubble for the slot, which will be Cam Vaughn right here. So let's see here. Is that the way we want to keep it? The bubble to Vaughn, jailbreak screen to Hamilton. I think I kind of want to flip this around. Let's do this thing a little bit differently. So we'll have to make a sub to make a sub. Let's go McCants here with his shifty ability, and let's go Vaughn here. Yeah, I like that. And is the tight end involved in the pass in this or more in the run? Because if it's more in the run, we can bring in our blocking tight end. Okay, so this is actually some passing plays, so we'll keep Barnes in. Okay, that's one formation I know I have of theirs. So let's see. Let's keep going here. Going through their playbook on the CFB.fan website. Okay. Gun doubles, I believe I do have in mind as well. So let's make a couple changes in that just in case. So on this, the slot man is involved in fake jet pass power. And then the wide man's involved in orbit motion. So, do I like everything we got there? I think I do. But I think this will be a good Ty Edwards formation because we got a little QB run action. I think it'd be good to get him in there and let his big self be in there to block. Let Jaheim get a rest on some. And we're going to try and sub Jaheim out on a couple formations if we can, just so he can rest, his wear and tear a little bit. And we can get Ty Edwards and Jalen Knight involved occasionally. Okay, so there's that one. Gun doubles halfback weak. Yeah, I definitely have that as well. So let's check that out. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to back out, but that's all right. At least we saved the ones we did. Gun doubles halfback weak is where we need to change. We need to check out now. Okay. So, gun doubles halfback weak. My left slot man comes in motion, involved on multiple plays with the out route look, multiple plays with the boomerang motion. So that's kind of an important role on this play. I think I want Cam Vaughn in the slot again on this one. So we'll bring back in Jaden Bray. We'll put Vaughn in the slot. Keep Hamilton out on that side. And tight end is involved. Do we have any tight end screens or anything here that we'll target the tight end on potentially? Yeah, we'll keep Barnes out of this one. Let's go ahead and get one of our blocking tight ends in on this one. We'll go Barrick. We'll go McGuire Moss. Let's go Barrick. Let's get Barrick a couple of reps here. Bring Barrick in on that one. Let's see, gun doubles Y off is next.